Yep, switches up. Lights on.
We're on.
All right, we are now joined by Martin Truex Jr., driver of the number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. We will start with Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead, Jordan. Mike's coming to you.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Martin, last year, about a year ago at this time, it was announced you had a contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing, and I think the verbiage in it was at least through 2022 with the organization.
Already?
Got to ask you, where do you think staying with Joe Gibbs Racing? Do you anticipate signing an extension with them, and will you be back in NASCAR full-time in 2023?
We haven't talked any about it. I mean, it's just got to Daytona for race one, so go down the road here and see how things go for a while, and you'll make that decision down the road.
Go to Mike Hembry and then Mark.
Mike Hembry, Auto Week. Martin, you've been involved in some last lap drama in the 500. Do you anticipate the last lap or two being very much different with this car, or are you still going to have to be top 8, top 10 with a couple laps to go to have a shot at winning?
Yeah, I'm not sure we really know that answer yet. I think there's going to be a lot to be learned throughout this week. I certainly have literally no experience in this car at this track other than yesterday. So I think there's going to be a lot of learning, a lot of guys trying to figure things out throughout the week. For me, I hope I can make it to the last lap. It's been difficult to do in years past. I think the last time I finished this race was 2016. So hopefully we have a little better luck this week, but yeah, it's just, we're gonna have to figure it out. I honestly have no clue what it's gonna be like. And, typically you need to be at the front no matter what. It's gonna be 2-3 wide, so it's hard to get through a lot of cars. But aside from that, how we do it, how the draft works, what's gonna be the best position to be in, all those things is kind of yet to be seen.
Mark?
Mark Garrow with PRN, off to your right. Good day, sir. I'm doing a story on the race at COTA and some of the mayhem that you guys went through last year. Can you talk about what happened with you? I talked to Cole a little while this morning. He said, wide open. He said, I saw him at like blink. I didn't even know I was going to hit him till I hit him. I mean, can you talk about what went on there and what you were thinking?
Yeah, for me, it was the same situation. I hit the 34 car. I guess he couldn't see, so he slowed down. I was wide open, and I literally seen his brake light flash, and he was on the hood at the same time. That's it. So I think that's what happened with Cole. He came from behind. We were going slow because we were crashed. He was wide open. So very difficult to see. For me to you, basically, you couldn't see going flat out through the gears. It was pretty crazy.
What kind of impact? It looked pretty big.
Yeah, I thought I was flipping when Cole hit me. I really did, but luckily it didn't. So it honestly wasn't that bad other than that.
Let's go to Daniel McFadden.
Daniel McFadden, FrenchRace.com. Martin, your teammate Christopher Bell was in here earlier today, and he said with the next-gen car, it was going to be interesting to see if veterans who've been around for a while might struggle with the next-gen car in some ways because they might still be set in their ways when it comes to habits and stuff like that. How long do you think it's going to take for you maybe to reprogram yourself to a degree when it comes to this car? Sorry. And do you anticipate there being maybe scenarios where your old habits from the old cars might still kick in some areas, and that could maybe bite you in some way?
Yeah, I mean, I hope not. I mean, I don't know, honestly. So far with the running we've done in this car, there's been a lot of learning, a lot of changing. I think, guy in my situation, I've been around a while and been through a lot of different changes, a lot of different cars, things like that. Obviously, this day and age, it's a lot easier to learn these things because you have all the data. You have SMT. You can see what everybody's doing. Back in the day when I started, it was all like a big mystery. You didn't know. You had to figure it out. You could kind of watch a guy and think you know what he was doing, but you may not have known exactly what it was, and now you can see all that stuff. So I think that just brings the field closer. It's hard to have secrets. It's hard to not see somebody's driving style or a guy that's faster than you. How's he doing it? you can go look at it, and then you just have to make yourself change. So we've done this for years with setup changes and car changes and all these different things. You have to drive the car different when the tires are changed, etc. So I think you learn to adapt over time. But does he have a point? Maybe. I don't know. I think it just depends on the guy and how willing he is to do whatever it takes, and listen to his team and look at the data and try to make those changes.
Additional questions for Martin? Go to Lee.
On a lighter note, how was your fishing trip with Johnny? I know you were leaving Nashville and you were like over the moon getting
Yeah.
to go on that trip.
Yeah, it was really neat to go to a different part of the world, somewhere I've never been. Kind of a bucket list trip for me since I was young, and we had a really good time. So the fishing wasn't quite as good as we hoped it'd be, but it was still really good. So had a blast. It was really fun. In Brazil, yeah, out in the Amazon. It was in the rainforest basically. So it was really neat.
Let's go to Steve and then Bruce.
Steve Schweitzer with Alaska Press. Martin, you don't have a Daytona 500 win on your resume. If your career ends without attaining that, is that going to be a major hole on your list of accomplishments?
Yeah, I'd certainly like to win it. I mean, the closest one to winning it that hasn't, I guess. Doesn't really mean a whole lot, but yeah, I mean, obviously it's a big race. It's the biggest race in our sport. It's one that we've tried every year to win and been close. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought about it. I think we've had a great opportunity this weekend and a great team, and we'll try to take advantage of that. And a new car with a lot of unknowns. I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of who figures it out. And just watching practice yesterday, everybody's kind of on a different agenda and trying to learn as much as possible. So I think we'll have a great chance. We just need to make it to the end. It's been a tough luck track for us over the years, so hopefully we can change that this weekend.
Bruce Martin of Speed Sport. Back when teams and manufacturers could build their own parts, Toyota would probably be in pretty good shape since you're the only Toyota team, and Joe Gibbs Racing. But with the parts being designed and made by an independent dealer, it's got to supply them for everybody. How big of an issue is it for the entire paddock when it comes to part shortages?
Yeah, I think right now it's a problem for everyone. I think everybody's hopefully planning on, I'm sure, trying to get through at least the duels with this car that we showed up here with. We're in a little bit better shape now than we were a week ago. I think we got another car or two this week, so James feels like we're in really good shape. If we can just make it through the duels with this car, we'll be in good shape for a while. So it's getting better, just going to take a little bit of time.
Go to Reed, Holly, and then Justin.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire. Sunday may give you the first opportunity for green flag pit stops in competition with the new lugs and the time discrepancy between fueling and tires now. Have you thought a lot about that? And do you still go on the drop of the jack? Do you, how do you orchestrate the pit stops at this point?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's going to, I'm sure bite some people, and I really have no idea. It's really, pit stops are kind of about timing. You kind of know when you stop and jack goes up, how much time it's going to be, and you kind of like, you have a little routine you go through with the gearing and the clutch and where your feet are on the pedals to try to get ready to leave the box. So definitely a little bit different here. It's just something we have to get used to. Honestly, it's going to be weird the first time, I'm sure, the first couple times, and just figuring all of it out. So pedals are different, shifters are different. The timing's going to be all different for us. So you just have to do it once or twice and get ready for it.
Holly.
Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service as well. What are you really expecting out of the duels? Do you think it's going to get super racy? Because there are still a lot of guys that are having to race their way into the Daytona 500. So, I mean, there's a lot of different strategies.
Yeah, that's always the difficult part. I don't really know. I mean, I feel like it's going to be, long green flag runs. I think there's a chance that we go green the whole way, and that's going to separate the fast cars from the guys that are maybe a little bit slower. But I don't know that we even know who those are going to be. So I think the field's going to get separated some. There's going to be a big pack. There's going to be a fast pack. There's going to be a slower pack. We're going to get separated. So hopefully we're in the front one where it's safe and everybody's just trying to get through the race and get a good starting spot.
Justin Palmer, Columbia, Missouri, and Martin. Last year we saw all the Joe Gibbs cars plus 2311 and working very close together, and we've seen that throughout the weekend practice. How significant has it been adding Kurt Busch to the fold of the Toyota garage this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing, obviously, with his experience and, driving different teams and cars and manufacturers and all that. He's a lot of insight about what goes on, but just, having another experienced guy is always good. Champion and guy that's won a lot of races. So we've got a strong lineup, and, the better we all run, the more it elevates all of us. So we'll have that internal kind of competition as always. Everybody wants to be the top guy, right? But we all work really well together during the week, and I think we all have a lot of respect for Kurt and what he brings to the table.
Additional questions for Martin? All right, Martin, thanks for joining us,
Thank you.
and good luck this weekend.